guys, what's up? It is your girl Kelly, and we are back with another video. And I just want to say first off, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're new here, I really would appreciate it if you guys would go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. It's an easy way to help me out and show love to the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And if you're a returning subscriber or just a returning viewer or whatever, if you're a liker of the video, if you're a content enjoyer, I thank you so much, guys, and just know that you are definitely appreciated, and thank you. That's all. That's pretty much it. So yeah, guys, we're gonna get into part 3 today of our Daryl Brooks, or the Waukesha parade killer, coverage of the trial, guys. So if y'all remember, we left off at the prosecution was still calling up witnesses, so we're going to see a couple more of those today, as well as some of the interrogation footage. And it's going to be pretty quick, hopefully. So the way that this video is going to be kind of structured, just so everyone's aware right off the bat, I will be playing clips from the trial, and I'll be pausing in and out of the clips and giving my commentary on those, on what we just saw. And then I want to hear feedback from you guys. I want you guys to leave comments. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know what you think about my commentary. Whatever you want to do. Let me know how your day was. Whatever. I read all your comments. I try to respond to all of them as much as I can. And that's what we're here for, guys. We're here to have these discussions and to debate and just to talk about life. That's what this channel is about. We want to discuss culture, true crime, current events, politics. If that's what you're into, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys, and I will greatly appreciate it. So before we start the video, guys, just like last time, I want to start with honoring the victims of this killer, this evil person. So we're going to honor these 6 victims before we get into any of that footage. So Tamara Durand, Wilhelm Hospel, Jane Coolidge, Leanna Owen, Virginia Sorensen, and Jackson Sparks. May you all rest in peace, and I hope that your families have some sort of I hope that they feel some sort of justice was served in the fact that knowing that this man, this evil person, is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars and will lead a miserable existence, just as he did, when he was free. But now he's really miserable because he can't go anywhere. He can't do the evil things that he did out in the world. So, hopefully that is at least some sort of retribution, even though you will never get your loved ones back, and that is what makes these sorts of things so tragic, guys. So, so let's go ahead and get right on in to our clips now, and we're going to start off with this is footage from the interview the interrogation that was happening. Basically, as soon as he got apprehended, they found him. Remember, if you guys don't remember from the first video, he was located at the house of a young man, and he basically rang this person's Ring doorbell and made up this story about how he was homeless and he wanted to come inside to call an Uber. And so this was shortly after that footage was captured on that Ring doorbell, and they take him to the hospital, and this interview takes place in the hospital, like in a room with a camera, with audio being recorded from a phone. So let's get into that, and then we'll hear the detective talk a little bit about that footage that was captured there. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get this pulled up and get right on in. Alright, guys. Okay, so that's this video right here.
So this is my thing between me and you, man.
Okay.
What if it wasn't me driving? What if it wasn't you? What if it was my mom's trip?
Huh?
but I wasn't driving.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. Wait,
What if
what?
it was you? What if it wasn't me?
But what if it was you? But what if it wasn't me? But what if it was you? Like, I wonder if they could have just, how long they could have just kept this up. They should have just tried it and saw, you know, like, maybe they could have just gone back and forth all night. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Who else would it be? That's what I'm asking.
He switched it up on him.
I'm not asking you who else would it be, bro. I'm just asking. What if I knew? Mm-hmm. Would I be asked to give that information?
Well, it said we're here together. Truth.
So just to provide some context, guys, and y'all let me know if y'all want me to. I will cover the interrogation, but it was so long. It was like 3 hours long, and there was a whole lot of just like gaslighting and just they were playing with him pretty much. I mean, or they were playing this game with him. He was kind of playing them, honestly, because they were just going round and round in circles for basically the first 2 hours of this interrogation. And, you know, they were trying to basically say, you know, that he was there because of the fight that he had with his baby mama. And so for like the first 2 hours, he keeps talking about like, man, I can't believe she would do this to me. And like just basically acting as if he had no idea why he was sitting in that chair. And he was acting as if, you know, he thought the cops basically, I don't know if he actually thought this, but he was acting as if nothing had happened. Like he did not just mow down, you know, and kill 6 people and then injure countless others. So he was sitting up here just acting like they were stupid, acting like he was stupid, and like nobody knew what was going on. But the whole time, obviously he knew what he had just done. The cops knew what he had just done. And so they were playing this little cat and mouse game for like the longest time until they finally mentioned and kind of like pulled it out of him about the car and basically like, weren't you driving a red car tonight? Like, didn't you maybe go to a parade? You know, just like, it took forever. So, I mean, I can review it if y'all want to. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. But basically, that's leading up to this moment here where they have finally broken the ice and, like, gotten him to kind of entertain the fact that, like, there was a thing that happened, you know, like, that night. And it had nothing to do with the fight, the verbal altercation he had with his baby mama at the gas station. And so they've alluded to... you know, him doing something bad, you know, possibly like running people over. And so now he's arguing, well, what if it wasn't me? You know, so great argument there, guy. You really thought that one out, didn't you?
So if somebody else was driving that car, yeah, I would want to know who that car is so we can go talk to that person. But a huge part of that is going to be your honesty with it.
Right. No, I was just asking. Because you just asking.
You know, you've already figured out you're not an idiot. You're not a dumb man. You're a smart guy.
Right.
I see that.
Oh, yeah?
You know that we've been working on this.
The video stopped at 2 hours, 50 minutes, 40 seconds. What's going on here?
So now they're back in the courtroom, and this is the detective that he was there during most of the interrogation, but the empty seat that you see in the video that we just watched was where he had been sitting, and he ended up leaving the room after, like I said, a long-ass time of just going around in circles with this man. And so, yeah, now we're back in the courtroom, and he's going to kind of explain what it was that transpired next.
Overruled the witness. May I answer?
So at this point, Mr. Brooks, I've stepped out of the room as offering up to Detective Stern that there's a possibility that someone else may have been driving the vehicle. Now, when asked about that, as we can see, he pretends he doesn't know who that person would be. it's untruthfulness, it's deception.
Hold on a second. I'm going to advise the witness to refrain from characterizing what Mr. Brooks is saying or not saying. It is solely up to this jury to determine credibility of any of the witnesses and the believability of even any statements made during these interviews. And I'm going to strike that characterization from the record.
And, good for the judge. Like, that just gives you kind of like a little glimpse into what kind of, like, judge she actually was throughout this entire trial. As much shit as this man gave her and as much trouble as he was, she was still made it her point. And I feel like she kind of went overboard with it, which was good, because like we discussed previously, I feel like it was for a reason. She wanted to make sure there would be no legal issues, no like constitutional issues that could be brought up, no procedural issues that could be brought up to vacate or bring into any sort of question the process and the court proceedings that went on under her watch. So I feel like that was very fair and good of her to do, because he was characterizing up there, and it's like, even though that's true, he was being a deceptive little shit. You have to people have to have a presumption of innocence, right? So you can't have someone up there doing that. And you could tell that this detective is like very he's very butthurt over that. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit, guys, and we're going to go back to the interrogation a little bit, and then we'll go to the next clip, because I want y'all to see where he comes back in the room. And this is kind of where it gets interesting a bit. So, okay, I think it's about right here. Oh, no. I'm sorry, let me back it on up a little. He pulls out the pictures. He pulls out the big guns. So he comes back in the room, and he's showing him basically the footage of, himself running people over, basically, and what kind of transpired. So let's start from right here.
No, that's not me.
That's not you.
That's not me.
Okay.
That's not you.
No, Darrell. That's
Darrell.
The utter
You,
gaslighting.
Darrell.
The utter gaslighting.
Why you say it like that, man?
Because we talked about the honesty piece. You keep telling me that you tell the truth when you did do something. You take responsibility when you do something. There's your mom's car again. There's your mom's car again.
That's what he's just pretending to read. Like, who reads like that? Like, the way he's like just intentionally like moving his head back and forth, and I don't know, it's so painfully awkward to watch. It's just very, oh my god, it's amazing that someone can lie this much in this way that he does. It's honestly impressive.
Next to a child, which I know you care a lot about, children.
Next to a child, who's on my bed.
It's your mom's car.
Yeah, I was just asking him about my
That's your mom's car
what's going on with that.
that we took the key from you. So you can't tell me at this point I'm playing any games anymore,
I didn't say you was playing games from the get-go.
Well, you felt like
Just
we were being totally straight.
last night I felt like
It wasn't as fluid as you wanted.
No, it wasn't the flu. It was just
And it wasn't as much as I wanted either.
I knew that y'all knew more than what y'all was saying, and I felt like last night with that whole, them coming in the way they did, and because I'm sitting there in the thing and I'm watching them walk past, like, what in the hell? And seeing that, I just felt like, okay, y'all already know what y'all want to do, what y'all, you know what I'm saying?
He's just so full of shit. It makes me crazy, honestly, to watch this. That's why I didn't really make one on the interrogation, but it's like, it's very entertaining in a way that, like, when you like rage watch something, when that sort of thing, because it's just very, very toxic, this behavior. And at this point, they haven't even, like, I don't even think I mean, they might know, the detectives might know, but they have not disclosed to him that he actually killed people. So, he thinks that the worst charge that he's facing right now is like assault with a deadly weapon or something like that. So the whole time he kept saying, like, just tell me what my charges I might be facing, like, then I'll tell you whatever you need to know. And so he just kept saying this over and over again. And I think he was trying to allude to the fact, like, did I kill anybody? Because he thought he was just going to go to jail for a long time. Like, he thought he was going to do about 10 years, something like that. Like, no, my guy, you killed 6 people. And I don't see how you could not know that. But he was acting like he didn't. So, guys, let's go on to our next clip. And this is going to be the guy's house, who he rang his Ring doorbell. And this is very interesting as well. So let's start off with, this is going to start off with, like, basically, there's an objection right before this. There was a commercial also, so I didn't want to, like, start right before the commercial and then, like, have to skip over. So basically, he asked the witness, who is Daniel Ryder, which is the man who answered the house with the Ring doorbell, and he asked him to identify the person that was at his house that night. And so this is where that picks up from.
Please remove your mask.
What was the question?
Please remove your mask and face the witness.
Mr. Ryder, do you see the person depicted in exhibit number 75
It acts like it's so...
in the courtroom today?
Ugh.
Yes. Can you identify him for us by telling us where he's sitting and what he's wearing?
And, I feel like he did all that to try to, like, intimidate this guy, because he knows he's already had an interaction with this young man, and I don't know how old he is. I mean, he appears to be very young, but I think he's also just, like, innocent, because he obviously let a stranger in his house that night who he thought was homeless. So I feel like that whole display with, like, the mask and, like, the shaking his head, like, doing all the huffing and puffing was to try to, like, intimidate this young man. And I just don't respect that.
He's sitting at the table right there wearing a black suit and a gray striped tie.
But as the record reflect that the witness has identified Mr. Brooks.
The record will reflect that the witness has identified the defendant as the person depicted in this video and the person who was on his porch on November 21.
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name, for the record.
Go ahead, your next question, please.
Thank you. What happened in the moments after this video, the 20 seconds that were captured?
So he was on my porch for, I don't know exactly, a minute maybe, and he was telling me the interaction, or he was telling me that he needed to use my phone to let his Uber know where to pick him up, and that he was homeless and cold, and he said he didn't have any weapons or anything on him, and he lifted his shirt real quick, and I was like, no, it's okay, you can use my phone, and I let him come inside and warm up. I just tend to believe people, and I'm from a small town, and we had people that need help all the time, because we live right off a highway, so I'm used to...
Sir, can you please not do that anymore? The world is crazy. God bless your heart. You seem like a very sweet soul, but we don't need to be doing that, okay? And, maybe he's Christian. He doesn't say that. He says he uses it more like I'm a small town, like, guy. We help other people, but, like, please don't. Can you please stop? You're letting killers in your house. I don't think it's a great idea. So, just throwing that out there for you. I'm worried.
Didn't faze me too much. I mean, I was nervous for sure, but I was like, yeah, I can use my phone. And he made it sound like the Uber was...
Listen to those nerves next time.
Going to be here just any second, just needed to know where to pick him up. So I said, yeah, you can come and warm up while you wait for the Uber. And I let him sit on the couch right by the window out front. I said, you can look out here waiting for your Uber. And he's on the phone most of the time after that with his mom. And he's saying the address, 553 Elizabeth Street, is where it needs to come. And, how far away is it? Kind of things like that. But
Okay.
I guess is that what you're wondering? Or
Let me back up.
Yeah.
You made a motion with your hands there regarding said about not being armed. You do that again, just for anybody who missed it?
Objection, I don't know, not consent
Use
to
your-
being called that name.
Go ahead and answer
Again,
the
for the
question.
record.
yeah, so I don't remember exactly what the motion was. I remember him saying he didn't have any weapons and he's not dangerous. And I think he lifted his shirt really quickly, but then I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm not worried about that. And so I didn't, it's not like I patted him down or anything like that. But,
Okay. Did you let him in the front door that would be right next to your video doorbell?
I actually,
Leading.
Oh,
I can rephrase.
go ahead, rephrase.
What door did you let Mr. Brooks into your home?
I let him in the
Objection.
back door.
I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. Go ahead, you may answer.
Yeah, the back door.
Okay. So he went around the side of the house to get to the back door?
That's right.
Okay. What happened when he got to the back door?
I don't remember exactly. I remember letting him in. Well, I remember, so I just got back hunting, so I asked him to go through the back door so I could make sure I didn't have any weapons laying around. And so after that was good, then I let him in the back door. Well, just to give me a second to make sure nothing.
I just cannot believe this. Like, honestly, like, this man rings your ring doorbell with no jacket on, okay? No shoes. You know, looks like a sketchy person. I mean, just by the looks of this individual, and he had long, you know, ratchet, like, nasty-looking dreads on. Like, not even, like, you know, nice-looking dreads. Like, he had very ratchet dreads at the time, claiming that he's homeless and needs to use your phone, and already talking about he doesn't have no weapons. Why? Why, sir? Why do you, and you have weapons in your home that then you go to hide? Like, what are you thinking? People, if you are out there and you can hear me, please don't do this. Take this as a cautionary. This man is very lucky to be alive because, you know, I mean, it could have been anybody crazy, and it's just like, my goodness. You're lucky, I guess, that Daryl Brooks didn't have a car with him because, you know, but he could have done anything to you. He could have gotten desperate if he, you know, just who knows. Like, it was just very, very silly and dangerous for no reason, so.
It was tempting or anything, but I let him in the back door, and I think I gave him a coat right away, and then gave him my phone, and then told him where to sit down. And when I told him to sit in the spot, he didn't move or anything. He stayed right there and listened to me.
What did he?
What else did you give him?
I gave him a sandwich because he said he was homeless, and I said, oh, I can get you some slippers to put on your feet to warm your feet up. I never did end up giving him slippers. But yeah, so I gave him a jacket to wear while he was at my house. I gave him a spot to sit and wait for the Uber and a sandwich.
You testified earlier that he was on the phone with his mom. How do you know that?
Objection. Respectfully to you.
Overruled.
A few reasons. I heard him say mama a lot, and his mother called me, and I didn't answer, but his mom called and left a voicemail after the fact, confirming it.
Whose phone was he using while he was inside your house?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
He was using my personal.
He already answered that also. It's like, what?
So,
How would you describe his demeanor as he was inside your house?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
I would say flustered, but also there were many times he was thanking me, and so he was grateful, and he even said, thank you so much for showing me love, man, and he was calling me bro, and so it wasn't,
Aw.
I guess that didn't make me feel like I was in any danger at the moment.
Wow.
Did Mr. Brooks leave your home at some point?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. You may answer.
I'm sorry, I lost train of thought. Can you say it again?
Did he leave your home at some point?
Yeah, he left when I asked him to. So he was in my house for 8 or 9 minutes, and then I was standing on the front door looking outside because I was getting a little nervous because I thought the Uber would be there in a minute or two, not 10. And so after 8 or 9 minutes, I'm looking around outside and I see a police car drive by.
Yikes.
And then I see another one coming down the street. And so I tell him, I say, hey, we don't get a lot of police traffic on this street. And I'm getting nervous, and this is just too weird of a situation. You're fine to wait for your Uber, but you need to do it outside of my house. And he was a little bit like,
Yikes. So, yeah, what do y'all think about that testimony? You know, like I said, that guy seems innocent enough. I mean, he seems like he seems too innocent, but it's like, I just don't understand. I mean, there's still good people out there in the world, but you need to be careful because there's all kinds of sketchy people just like this guy, every time you turn around, there's another one of them. So I would just advise everyone here who's listening just to be careful because, my God, how badly that could have ended for that man if he had refused to leave, Obviously, he's alerting, Daryl Brooks, the fact that there's police outside. If he had gotten desperate and decided that he was going to take you as a hostage, he was going to overpower you, anything could have happened. I mean, it's honestly terrifying. But God's with him on that night. So let's get to our next little testimony. This is going to be probably a quick one. This is the police officer who transported Daryl Brooks to the hospital after the apprehension at the man Daniel Ryder's home. So we're going to start off this video at cross-examination. So prosecution's already questioned him, and now the defendant in this case is fixing to start his line of questioning towards this police officer.
Hey, Cross.
Yep.
That's a yes?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, sir?
You said that you recall checking every 30 minutes on doing like well-being checks, right?
That's correct.
And how do you know for sure that the suspect was asleep?
I don't know for sure if you were sleeping. I know that the cover was over your head, and every time I go and check in on you, I could see that your chest was rising up and down from underneath a blanket. So,
and see, that's how it's done, guys. Like, that is how you do it. He was referring to him. He was not going to play his little game like his ex-girlfriend or his baby mama did up on the stand. And you can see the contrast, the way that he handled her. And whenever she tried to refer to him as you, he would correct her and say, "Oh, well, who are you referring to as you?" Blah. But he's not going to challenge this man like that because he's immediately from off the jump is not playing his game. He still refers to himself as the defendant, the suspect, and this and that. Sir, stop the gaslighting. We're talking about you. We're talking about you or talking about you. Okay. Let's stop with the theater, but I like how this police officer is not having it on this day.
it's a possibility that you were sleeping. It's a possibility that you weren't. I know that you were undercover, so it appeared that you were asleep most of the night.
So it'd be fair to say you're not sure.
Answer stands, Your Honor. It's asked and answered.
Objection.
Overruled. He may answer.
Could have been sleep. You probably was asleep. You probably wasn't, but the blanket was over your head most of the night.
Hello?
And do you recall why the suspect was not allowed a phone call?
I was told that you had to wait for Detective Jay Carpenter to talk to you.
Do you know if that's standard practice?
Not sure if it's standard practice or not, but just following his instruction, because he was going to be doing some investigation.
Would you say it's fair to say that usually a suspect being detained is allowed a phone call at some point?
Relevance.
Grounds.
Relevant, sir?
Grounds.
No. Why do you believe it's relevant?
Why would contact to the outside world be restricted?
All right, I'll rule that it's not relevant, sustain the objection. Next question.
I mean, he didn't understand what she was asking him right there. That's why he answered it that way. She asked, "Why do you think it's relevant?" Meaning to your case. And he's, because why is communication with the outside world not relevant? What? Sir, this is why. You're proving everyone's point, okay? Hello? What is this awkward silence?
Do you recall what time you got to, I think it was you said, the hospital to pick up the suspect?
Yes, I left at 12:10. I got to the hospital around 12:18.
Okay, great. Great line of questioning, because he was actually like, I thought that was a good question. I don't know. I honestly don't know why the judge didn't sustain that objection, or why she didn't like rule in his favor on that one, because I think that question he was going somewhere with that line of questioning. I do believe that he made some decent points. Like, I'm not gonna say they were good, because some of the arguments were just asinine and just completely nonsensical, but that right there, like the fact that he did not get a phone call, I thought that it played into, or it just kind of like proved the fact that he was treated differently because of the nature of the crime, obviously, but normally he is right. When you get to jail, you have the right to a phone call, and even in, that's like one of our main rights, so I was surprised that she did not rule in his favor on that one, but then he goes straight to like this other dumb question, because he's kind of been shackled by her sustaining that argument. So let's go into our very last clip, guys, and then we'll get out of here. But y'all let me know, what do y'all think about this questioning that he's doing, all of this important lawyering he's busy doing in this courtroom. So now we're going to get into the next witness, who was Sean Backler. And this guy, they kind of got into it. So let's play this clip here.
All right, sir. Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do, and I object to being called that name for the record.
Oh, God. We know. We've heard you.
Do you recall giving a statement to Officer Probst?
I don't know his name, but I've talked to an officer.
And you did talk to an officer that night?
I talked to an officer on the phone. I did not talk to an officer that night. I mean, on the phone I did, but not in person.
So it was a conversation on the non-emergency line. Would that be fair to say?
It was on the non-emergency line. I actually confirmed it after I called to make sure I was on the non-emergency line.
Do you recall the description that you gave at that time?
I do. Well, my best of my knowledge was that you were either black, Latino,
Who's you?
or mixed.
Who is you?
Well, you have to let him answer the question first before you interrupt him with another one. Go ahead with the description you provided that night.
I said that the individual was either black, mixed, or Latino.
So it'd be fair.
You see, he kind of backed down there. He kind of backed off his initial point of contention with the defendant there. I would have kept going with the you, because, the more you trigger this man, the better it is for yourself, because the jury's going to get to see what kind of a person he is and how he's conducting himself in this courtroom. Even though, obviously, they can see that anyways. It's obvious to see what kind of a shit show this is, but still, this is not like this. I mean, it's not how you deal with this type of person. And you saw how he didn't do that with the cop, though. There were certain people that he felt more comfortable doing that with than others.
Fair to say you didn't know at the time.
I was giving a general description.
So it would be fair to say that you weren't sure.
I was positive that... I was positive it was you.
Who's you?
You. I'm looking at you.
Ooh! Spicy! I like that.
And how did you come to that conclusion, the you conclusion?
What the fuck?
I'm looking at you.
How did you come to that conclusion?
How did you come to the you conclusion? What? How do you even... What kind of question is that? That's hilarious. I find that to be hilarious.
Did you
What conclusion? Can you restate the question?
You're saying that you gave a description on the non-emergency phone line, correct?
It was on a non-emergency line.
So it would be fair to say at that time you had no name
Oh, God.
or knowledge of who the person was in your backyard. Would that be fair to say?
I had no idea who you were.
And so how can you say how can you say you then if you had no idea?
I'm looking at you. You're the guy.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Where you and I were standing in the same yard looking at each other.
So is it possible you saw something on the news?
No, I had no idea who you were.
Interesting.
Call him you again. Call him you again.
Do you recall giving a description of approximately 5'9" and 160 pounds?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Oh, what you gonna do? Now what?
Something like that, or would that be accurate?
I didn't have a tape measure out. It was just a guesstimate.
Would it be fair to say that since
Uh-oh.
you keep
Stand
identifying me as you, would it be fair to say that I'm not 5'9" nor 160 pounds?
Do you have your shoes on or off right now?
Would it be fair to say that I'm not 5'9" and 160 pounds?
If you take your shoes off and step out of them, they could have a better
I'm not gonna have
view.
him do that, but if you're able to answer the question, do you agree?
I'd
or
have to be
disagree?
standing next to him. That's what I made my judgment from. We were about 2 feet from each other.
Does it look like I'm 5'9"?
I don't know. We were a lot closer.
Does it look like I'm 160 pounds?
Objection.
Grounds.
It's irrelevant as to his appearance today, just like his hair isn't in dreadlocks today.
Sustained.
Objection.
Question.
Grounds for the sustain.
Next question, please.
You also said that
Thought he had him right there.
the narrative in the report said that the individual was later identified.
What?
Would that be fair to say?
I just, he thinks he's doing something here, and he really thought he had him when he stood up and, made his little point. He opened up his jacket. He said, "Oh, gotcha. Like that Kanye, I don't know if y'all seen that Yay meme, but literally, he thought he had a little gotcha moment. And now here he goes with, the wordplay and the, trying to, twist it up and twist people into pretzels to just confuse and gaslight and just be an utter menace to society. And it's just, it's truly awe-inspiring in a way. I really do, like I said, it is incredible to watch in that you don't see something like this and people like this very often in life. But when you do, you have to give them their just due, because they truly bring manipulation and narcissistic gaslighting and, just lying and being just arbiter of chaos to a whole new level. Really does, guys. So y'all let me know, what did y'all think of all of these clips and of the defendant, the Waukesha killer's ability to present himself in court? In a way, he's doing an okay job. I've seen worse. Did you guys see that trial of the guy who was yelling in court with the crazy, dread that was sitting on top of his head, who had killed his wife and his baby, or stabbed his baby and killed his wife? Now that guy, he was performative, but he was not as, collected and as professional as this one is. At least he comes off at times professional. He's doing a thing. He's referring to himself as the alleged defendant. He's got a bit going. So you got to give credit where credit is due, guys. Y'all let me know, what did y'all think of all these clips, and what did y'all think of his presentation in court, and what do you guys think of this case in general? So I will be doing the next video. It'll be starting up with the defendant's portion of the trial, and we'll get into that a little bit. We'll probably do a couple more videos in this series, and then we'll wrap it up. And I would love to know you guys' thoughts on everything, so please let me know in the comments down below. Please like the video if you liked it, and definitely, guys, I would love it if y'all would hit that subscribe, because if you are into this trial and this these commentary clips and all of this, then you definitely want to be here. And if you like true crime and all of these sorts of things, you know, we get into a variety of different videos here on this channel, so I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, and I think you would love it, enjoy it, and all of the sort. So you guys take care until I will see y'all next time, and y'all have a great night. All right, bye.